Hello and welcome to Frank's School, 34th day of the fourth year. Before I go on to this, I wanted to show you this. I'm still sort of reeling in a way from the fact that I went in so many different directions. But when I gave my talk about open air museums, this was the list that my wife printed that out for me so they could see it. Those are things that if you went to these playlists, you could see these open air museums, decorative arts. All of those are playlists. The prospectus, I mentioned that. Batch bug, a word I've created, which actually I'll probably eventually make a batch bug playlist of sorts, and then open air museum. All right, with that done, I'll put that behind me, sort of, except the prospectus is not finished. I'll be working on that for a while. I decided I shouldn't rush that. All right, you're watching The Story of English, I hope. The Guid Scots Tongue, I'm guiding you through the viewing of that. Today, I'd like you to watch the 4th out of 7 parts and the 5th out of 7 parts. I was tempted to say go for the end, but I think that's enough. I think that's enough for one of those. Anyway, the subject is Scots-Irish. He takes it to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My heart sort of starts to swell because this is coming home. I live in south central Pennsylvania, and you know and I live near Amish, Mennonites certainly. But anyway, that's sort of me. But my own speech is the Mid-Atlantic dialect of American English. That's the closest I can come to explaining what is my speech. It's not really Scots-Irish, but those people in the mountains that you see, I understand them quite well, and they're not that far away from the way I talk. And I know lots of people that speak slightly like that. Hunting becomes a huntin'. A huntin'. This is our talk writing. They talk about putting the at the beginning of it and the G on the end, or leaving the G off the end. I've done that all my life. I'll drop the G. I think there's a lot of parts of the United States where that's frowned on, but I do. He's also going to explain later on that there's something called registry when you speak. I don't speak the same way with my neighbors making hay that I speak right now. He talks about that OU, about, sure, I hear that, house, and but right within my community, I can hear that difference, the people that do it, the people that don't. My wife's mother's people come from an area where they do that all the time. Within the county I live in, I can hear that difference. Flowers, that's that OU sound right there. I didn't even know what he was saying for a while. Flowers. I can't quite say that right, but something I'll mention actually, because I don't know when else I would. One of the places is this air, where you hear that is in commonly that word Saturday is commonly around here said Saturday. Uh, Saturday. That's the way I say it if I'm just talking Saturday. So, yeah, and a lot of people do that around here. Okay, hit versus it. This isn't the verb, this is the pronoun it, but they'll put an H in front of it. That didn't, I hear that some around here, but what I particularly noticed was hain't. For what is commonly in standard English spelled ain't. Here's the sound, ain't. But my neighbor, for years, as a matter of fact, Josh's uncle, I have his barn in pieces on the field, Ronald, he always said hain't. He put an H in front of it, hain't. And other people around here did. I didn't know where that came from, but now I know. These are my people. A lot of them, you're looking at them. They're my people. There's just no doubt about that. American English is what you know is what is so it's become so worldwide, and I think I maybe didn't appreciate to what an enormous extent it's influenced by Scots Irish, um, and of course he's going to go on to explain how it was taken out west, not only by the travelers, and then he'll go to truckers, talk about CB radio. Now that's a thing of the past, really, I think, but the handles, and that was so popular, and it had its whole jargon, its whole language. I do not speak like them. That is not my accent. As I said before, I'm mid-Atlantic American English. And then he's going to, at the end of it, he's going to come to the Highlanders, or go back to Scotland, to the Highlanders. But I want to make sure you realize they do not speak English. That's Scottish Gaelic. That's very, very different. That is barely related to English. True Irish, true Scottish, true Welsh. Those are Gaelic languages. They are not they're Indo-European, but they're not Germanic or Romance languages. So it's very different. But I'd ask you to stop there. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. Of course, they're my people. Bye for now.